Hello and welcome back to another episode of FoxyNoTail's Minecraft Adventures here inside of my Bedrock Edition survival world of total epicness ×2 on a dot. Where are we going? I don't know. Let's do this. Shut that door. There's a breeze blowing in here. What? Why is it? There's wood under my bed. Who's put that there? Anyway, distractions aside, Elytra, 1,000,000 of them, and dragon heads, and some ender pearls, and lots of shulker shells. Yes, because we went to the end cities in the last episode with Jack. If you didn't see it, go back and watch it now, because it was amazing. And everybody, please just take a moment to hit that like button for me. Go on, do it. You know you want to. Let's see if we can get 65 likes on this video. It's going to be amazing if you can. I'll be so happy. I'll be very, very thankful. Thank you very much. Right, what we got in here? We've got some shulker boxes, but not many. And we've got all sorts of things in here. And I thought I'd just show you guys quickly what we've put together already, because I'm sure you're vaguely interested in this. If you've just joined this video to watch what the subject matter of today's video is, then you won't be remotely interested in this. But my regular viewers and subscribers, I'm sure, will be very interested to see what we've got. So we've got a load of cool stuff. In fact, I think that's all my spare armor and stuff. That was the stuff I had before we went, I think. Got some firework rockets. We've got some potions and things. So I've started to go through the box and label them. I've got a redstone box with nothing in it yet. So I need to start putting in some of these redstone items I have. And I can start emptying out some of these things and getting those in there. I've got loads of redstone stuff down there. And then I just got a couple of standard shulker boxes. And this is all of the stuff we got from the end. And look how good it is. It's amazing. So I'm not going to colour these boxes. I'm not going to dye these ones. I'm just going to put them to one side for now. And at some point, we're going to need some kind of like secure vault room or something. But obviously, that's not what we're doing today. We're going to make melon and pumpkin farms today because if you watch my last couple of videos, you'll see we went to the end and I decided that I really wanted pumpkin pies because they're good for saturation. And we didn't make many of them because my pumpkin farm is a little bit terrible. I have got some more pumpkins over here, which we are going to need in today's episode, but I don't get many pumpkins from it. It's not very reliable. It takes ages for them to grow back again, and I've come up with a good idea. I've come up with a good solution that I think's a pretty good pumpkin farm, or melon farm. In fact, I've not actually tried it as a pumpkin farm yet. I've tried it as a melon farm, but I'm pretty sure they work in pretty much the same way. So I'm going to go over into my creative world now and show you exactly how that all works. So here we are in my creative world, and if you can see behind me, you'll see there are 3 different devices that all are my pumpkin farm ideas. Now this one, some of you might recognise if you're into farms and things like this. This is very loosely based on, I think it's Mango's pumpkin and melon farm idea, although I've only got melons in there, no pumpkins, and this works pretty well. It works on the basis that pistons push down the melons, which break them, and that makes them go into the hopper minecart. Now, I'm assuming it will do the same for pumpkins. I haven't tried, but that's okay. And that spits out around about 7.3 stacks of melons an hour, or stacks of melon pieces per hour. So not whole melons, but you know the pieces. You get pieces of melon like this. It's got 50 melon seeds in there altogether, which basically means you get 9.4 melon pieces per seed per hour. Does that make sense? For every melon seed, you get 9.4 pieces of melon per hour from this farm. So it's fast. It's pretty good. But it wasn't the first farm I came up with. This was the first one, which is the same thing. But instead of the pieces being in a crisscross pattern like that, they go round in a circle like this. And that works pretty well as well. It's pretty fast. It's pretty good. This one's got 56 melons in it. And it gives us 14.4 pieces of melon per seed per hour. So this one was 9.4 pieces of melon per seed per hour, and this one's 14.4. So you actually get more melons back for the number of seeds than you do in that one. And it's not because there are more seeds, it's per seed. So this one spits out 12.5 stacks of melon pieces per hour, and the same idea is here. And then I came up with this one. This one does 15.5 melons per seed per hour. So for every seed, you get 15.5 pieces of melon every hour, which is equal to 14.5 stacks of melon pieces per hour, or 930 pieces per hour, which is by far the fastest. It's by far the fastest. And they're all using exactly the same clock to run them, which is just an Etho Hopper Clock with a few items in there. And basically, as that switches over, it forces the pistons out, which push down any melons that have been made, and they get picked up by the hopper minecart, which then gets dumped in this chest. So they're all very good systems. I'm going to assume they work with pumpkins as well. Like I said, I've not tested that, so I'm going to assume they are. So I'm going to build one of these for each. I'm not going to do melons and pumpkin in the same one. I'm going to do one of these for melons and one of these for pumpkins, and I'm going to build them in my little underground area. So now that we've decided what we're going to be doing, let's go and do it. So first things first, I'm going to need a whole bunch of redstone resources and things like that to actually build this thing. Fortunately, in the last episode, we got a whole ton of gold from going to the end. So my gold supplies are back up so we can make plenty of powered rails and things like that, which is pretty awesome. So I'm going to go and gather all of the things that we need. I'm going to get them all ready, and then we'll get building this thing. And it's all facing away from me. How rude. How very, very rude you all are facing away from me. That's better. Turn round and talk to me. Come on. Hey, I'm in here, wanting to talk to you guys, all of you, facing... Oh, how cheek. The cheek of it. Even you, Norris, weren't looking at me. I'm not happy with you guys. Right, anyway, where was I? Oh, yes, gathering things. As usual, I am going to be building this in a one-chunk area. These areas that I've got marked out here are exactly one chunk, including the inside of these stair blocks. So we're going to be building it like this sugarcane farm, so it's within the one chunk and we can get around it. So this one uses 50 normal pistons and 60 melon seeds. So let's see how many pistons I've got. I've got 23, so we're going to have to make some more pistons, which means I'm going to need cobblestone, which is one of the ingredients I didn't get. Oh, man. I do have a load. I think I've got a load of it down here anyway. Let's have a look. Let's have a look at my cobblestone supplies. Oh, millions of cobblestone, mate. It's not a problem. It's not a problem. Good job. Good job. Right, as usual, first thing I'm going to do is take the floor out of this thing so we can actually build it into the floor of this this chunk. Right, it's 14 deep, which means it's going to go all the way from the back to the front, but it's only 12 wide, so we're going to have one wide either side. And I want a couple of blocks below this whole thing that we've got for extra chests going down. So I'm going to say, let's have 3 bits at the bottom. I know what I mean. Then we're going to have, that's going to be the block that's got our rail on it. Then we have an air gap, which the rail is. Then we have the dirt that the melons are growing on. Then we have another air gap, which is the melons. And then we have the pistons here, and then we have repeaters on top of that. So let's just go back and let's see how high this thing's going to be. So that's not actually that high. We could do this thing higher and then have even more chests underneath. But I don't think we need to. I think that's going to give us plenty of room, to be honest. So let's mark this whole thing out. I'm going to start with the layer at the top for the pistons, so we can get the pistons in, and then I'm going to work out the rest of the stuff. So the reason I'm having to build this from the top down is because in order to get the pistons above the melons, you need to be inside the dirt block, which obviously is impossible. So if I put the pistons in first and build everything else underneath it, that's going to make life a lot easier. The only thing that does make life tricky for is building the minecart track, but that's not impossible because we've got long reaching arms on Bedrock Edition, which is very useful. So the pistons are going to be going like this. So yes, I can place them like that, which is much easier than having to put the whole thing full of dirt first. So they need to come this way. Let's put that there, and then I can have one there. There we go. Much easier. Now this row is only going to have 8 pistons because the middle 2 blocks are going to be water. That's where we're going to get our water from in this, so that the pumpkins will actually grow, or the seeds will actually grow, sorry. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's it. So that's 5 rows of pistons in. That's exactly what we wanted. We can get rid of all of this dirt again now. Don't need any of that. And while we're at it, we might as well go and wire these pistons up just to get that job out of the way so we don't have to worry about doing that later. So wiring these up is going to be very simple. We're just going to join them together with a slab across the front there. And then we're just literally going to put redstone dust all the way along the tops of each one, and then repeaters in the middle just to join that all up. And I've run out of redstone dust. Typical. Never take enough stuff with me, but basically just like that. So I need a little bit more dust over there. That's the redstone wired up, except for obviously the clock mechanism, which is going to make it go. But that's as simple as that for the redstone. So the dirt needs to go 2 blocks below the pistons, which is just there. And that all needs to be tilled as well. So the bits where the pistons are don't need to be, but the bits next to that do need to be, if that makes sense. So this is going to have the melon seeds on it there, and they're going to be able to grow onto this row here, which is above the pistons. So we're going to alternate rows between seeds and then just blank spaces where the melons or pumpkins can grow. And I know I keep changing my mind between melons and pumpkins. That's just because I'm making melon and pumpkin farms. I'm doing both, so it doesn't really matter which one I say, I suppose. Right, that's all the dirt in, but we do need a space in the middle for water as well. So I've got to work out what the absolute middle of this is, and it's hard to tell when you've got it all upside down like this. So I'm going to use stone bricks. I think that's going to be easier. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oops. 1, 2, 3, 4. 5, 5. Oh no, that's still 4, isn't it? Oh. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Ooh. I'm going to go there for the water. The only reason I'm using glass is just because I think it's prettier. When you can see what's going on, I think it's more interesting. And the reason I'm using white stained glass as opposed to normal glass is just it looks brighter. It looks nicer to me. So the water's going to go in there, which means we need to dig those 4 out there, and then we need to put glass at the bottom underneath there as well. Which actually means we don't need these glass edge pieces here. We can get rid of those. All right, then there we go. So we just need to pop a bit of water there. And a little bit of water there, and then we can till all the soil that's going to have the seeds on it, and hopefully that will stay nice and wet. It won't dry out, and then we can put some seeds in. And I'm going to go get the seeds in a minute rather than doing it later, just so that they can start growing while we're building this thing. And I know I can bone meal the seeds, but you can't bone meal once they've grown. Does that make sense? So you can't bone meal them to make them actually sprout pumpkins or melons, but you can bone meal the seeds to make them grow into full-size stalks. I think that's the best way to put it, I suppose. Okay, so I've put all of the seeds in, but I've got a little funny feeling this row here is going to dry out, which doesn't really matter. And also, I said this farm had 60 melon seeds in it, but it doesn't. It only has 58 because of those 2 in the middle that are missing because of where the water is. Now, I think the water should spread 4 either way, and this one's actually 5. So I'm going to have to go back to my testing world a second and find out what I've done there, because it works in my testing world. Right then, back on my testing world, how have I done this differently? I don't know. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 that way, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 that way, but they've grown and they are working. So I don't know, bit of a strange one. Maybe in Bedrock Edition, once you've planted seeds in, the ground doesn't go dry again. In Java Edition, that ground should have gone dry and it would pop the seeds out, but it doesn't seem to be doing that on here. So that's okay. That's not too bad then. The other thing I've got to do here is put some light in. Look, there's no light in here. Well, it will be in a minute once they all come on. But yeah, look, very, very dark. So I'm going to need to put some light in so that these things actually grow. I completely forgot about that. We're not in the overworld and it's not sunny. We're in a mine and it's dark. And then we're going to concentrate on building the bottom bit now, which is basically just rails. So we're going to need a load of rails. Right, that's all the glass in for the rails. Now, some of that's going to have to come out and become redstone blocks in order to power the powered rail. But let's get the rail on first and decide how we're going to do that. So let's pretend these stone bricks are chests. We'll have 4 hoppers. 1, 2, 3, 4, like that. And that'll allow us to put 3 lots of double chests at the front there. We'll put a redstone block there, and that's not going to affect those hoppers. 1 there, and then we'll put some there as well. And the redstone blocks are just there to power the powered rails, the golden rails. So the way I did this in my testing world was basically I had a redstone power rail on each one of those. Oh, no, I didn't. I had 3. I had it like that. I'm going to need a lot more power rails. Oh, man. So basically just loop this round and the last one there. So that's the whole thing, a complete loop. So we can put the minecart hopper on now, and that should, fingers crossed, if we've done it right, that should just continually go round and round and round and round now. And as it goes over these, it'll drop whatever it's got into these hoppers here, as you can see. So that's where my other little bits of rail went. They were all in here waiting for me, which is very handy. So what we're going to do at the front, if I grab a couple of chests, is we're going to have a double chest there, a double chest there, and a double chest there. And we'll do the same things underneath as well, and we'll fill up from the bottom. So if we stand at the front here, we'll be able to access like 3 rows of chests, which will be amazing. That'll be plenty of chests altogether. So if I just put those in place now, so like that and like that. In fact, I can even get away with the 4th row if I really needed to, but I don't think we need to. I think this is going to be plenty, to be perfectly honest with you. Put 1 there and 1 there. That's absolutely tons. Now I just need to put some hoppers behind. In fact, we don't need all those hoppers, but I'm going to use them anyway. 1 there, 1 there, 1 there, 1 there, and then like, there we go. Loads of hoppers. Far too many. So now all we need is the hopper clock. And you can see, look, we've already got some pumpkins growing in there. So this is coming together quite nicely already. Those ones have already grown. We do need to bone meal some of these other bits just to bring those along a bit quicker. But actually, while we're building in the melon one, that one will finish growing. What I am thinking is we might actually be able to just use one hopper clock for both of these things, because we're going to have 2 farms running side by side. They're going to be running at the same speed. We could just use one, but then that means we can never turn one of the farms off. So maybe not. Maybe we should have one each. But at least we've got plenty of room down below it to actually build the clock if we need to. So it's not going to make the whole thing look really horrible. Right, if you haven't built a hopper clock before, it's very simple. All you need is 2 couple of hoppers, a block of redstone, a couple of pieces of redstone, 2 comparators, 2 pistons, and that's pretty much it. We will need some more redstone to actually connect this to the rest of it, and we might need some slabs and some other blocks to do that as well. But it's really, really easy to make. So can we make our way back inside? I don't think we can. I think I've blocked my way off. Well, I'll put the clock round the back then, and that way, yeah, we can link it up from the back. Let's make a hole down here. Right, there we go. We've got a bit more space to play with down here, which is better. So first we'll put a redstone block down there. We'll put a hopper facing into that. Then we'll get our redstone block back, put another hopper facing into that, and then we can put a redstone block on top of that hopper. Then we can have a piston facing, if we can get round to it. In fact, let's put a block there because it's easier, like that, into that redstone block. And then we want another piston on that one there, facing into that block like that. We can get rid of that now, and we can get rid of that there now. Then we get our comparators. We have one facing out of that hopper that way, one facing out of that hopper that way. Both of those going into a block, and on top of those blocks, we have a piece of redstone dust, just like that. And that, believe it or not, is a hopper clock. That's it. All you've got to do now is put some items in, and they will count from one to the other, and when they're finished, that redstone block will move from one side to the other. And then what you can do is you can either then link directly from your redstone block a line of redstone up to wherever you're going, or you can use an observer to watch it moving, or whatever you want really in order to transfer your signal. And I realise actually I've made the piston repeaters facing the wrong direction, so I'm going to have to move those round, because I imagined we would have the clock at the front like we did in the testing world, but because it's at the back, I'm going to have to spin those round. If we put the observer there like that, whenever it moves, it's going to get an update. So it's going to update every time it goes across, regardless of the fact there's a redstone block there. Right, we've got a redstone torch tower coming up through there. We can then put some redstone dust onto there, which we can then just literally link onto there like that. So when that does that, that's going to activate those pistons. We just need to then spin these repeaters round the other way, so that it will then activate the entire farm. Hopefully the next time it changes. So let's see what happens to these pumpkins. There they are. They all got harvested. They all got picked up by the hopper minecart, and they should be in some of these chests here. And we're also getting some of the other things that have fallen into the farm in the chests there as well. That's good. That's good. We can leave that running now while we build the next farm. So let's just give it a little bit of a tidy up. I'm not going to decorate it just yet. I'm going to decorate it later. I want to get the melon one built first, and then we'll start that. But there you go. That's it. That's 100% complete. It's nice and simple, nice and easy. Job's a good one. And there we go. I believe that's the last bit of redstone in here on this melon farm. What I haven't done is I haven't put any torches on this glass here, and it is looking a little bit dark in the middle. So let's just put those there. Let's get rid of my little building blocks I've got here. I've put the hopper clock exactly where we did on the last one, and I've just arranged these slabs a little bit better around here as well, just to make it a bit easier to get up and down to each one. Oh dear. Something's not quite right there. Oh, I know what's not right. Why is it going off? I haven't actually put anything in the... I haven't put anything inside it yet, so it's obviously an item's dropped into the hopper clock, so I need 32 sticks. Yeah, so I put these little trapdoors on the sides here as well, just to get in and out, so we can use the space underneath if we need to. So, yeah, a little bit of dirt's dropped in there, so if we just put some sticks in there instead, that's going to be a lot better. And that'll run at the same speed as the other one then. So there we go. That's a melon farm and a pumpkin farm completely done. What I am going to do now is I'm going to go around and bone meal all of the rest of the stems so that these things are 100% working in the full capacity. Yeah, these ones have hardly even started growing. These are the melons that we've just put in. The pumpkins are growing just fairly slowly. Right, that's the melon all fully grown now, so they should start dropping blocks and they should start working. So I'm going to do the same thing of the pumpkins if I can reach across. Yes, I can. Right, let's make these nice and big. Let's get loads of tasty resources so we can make lots of nice tasty pumpkin pie. I don't even know why I'm doing melons. I don't even want melons. Melons are so annoying. I know glistening melon is useful for potions, but who's ever going to have enough gold to use an entire melon farm's worth of glistening melons? I don't know. Unless you've got a gold farm. In which case, I don't think that works ever so well in Bedrock Edition. There are some designs people have come up with for gold farms which are pretty new and interesting, but they're very, very expensive, very, very difficult to do. And to be honest, I don't think it's worth it. I think you might as well just go mining, to be honest. The amount of time and effort you put into building one of these immense gold farms, the one I'm thinking of in particular is basically made from obsidian, like tons and tons and tons and tons of obsidian. And yeah, I think it's easier just to go mining for it, personally. There we go, the last 2 stocks. And now everything in both farms is fully grown. They're all fully ready to go. Well, I say ready to go. They're already going. They're already working away, which is fantastic. I do need to make them look pretty. I was thinking maybe I could make one look like a pumpkin and one look like a melon. That could be quite interesting. I could also make them much higher. I could do like multi-leveled ones, but I don't see the point. It's like I said before, there's only me on this. This is not a server, it's just my personal survival world. So there's very little point in having like, well, a million farms producing a million things. I just want a little farm for each little thing I'm doing. Actually, what I'm going to do in terms of decoration is rather than trying to make these look like pumpkins and melons by like dyeing wool or concrete, I'm just going to actually use pumpkin and melon blocks to do it. So I'll wait until I've got plenty of both of them and I'll just build it up into one big thing. It doesn't look like we're getting quite as many through as we did in my redstone testing world, but we've only just grown them all through, so we'll see. We'll see how it goes. I mean, we're getting a few. We can see this bits of melon up there already. Look, they're hanging out. So what I might do is I might just put myself in a little platform and pile myself up a bit and just do a little bit of a time lapse of these things working. I don't know how this will work. We'll see. There we go. If we do it like that and I just leave that running, you should be able to see the melons and pumpkins growing. I know there's glass in the way. There's not a lot I can do about that. Right, okay, so there was a little bit of a time lapse, not very much at all. I don't think we got a great deal from that, and I think the reason is I think I've got them running too fast. We're getting a lot more pumpkins in that last chest than we are the rest. Yeah, I think it's running too fast, so I'm going to put some... what am I doing? I'm going to put some more sticks in each one. I'm going to put another 32 sticks in each of the hopper clocks, and that will half the speed, because I think it's harvesting before the melons and pumpkins have got time to grow. So let's chuck another 32 in there. So we've got 62 sticks, 64 sticks in each one overall. And let's give that a go. Because it really doesn't matter how fast these hopper clocks go or how slow they go. Because the slower they go, the more chance everything's got to grow anyway. So, I mean, I could probably, in fact, let's do that. Let's put another stack of sticks in each one and make them really slow. And then everything will have a much longer time to actually grow. The only slight issue with this might be that the hopper minecarts might not be able to pick up everything when it actually collects everything, because obviously it'll be a much bigger harvest. But I don't think that'll be an issue. I think it'll be okay, because again, it'll take a much longer time for everything to grow for the next time. Am I making sense? Does this make sense to anybody? Right, let's try again. Oh, you can already see in the pumpkin one, look, there's loads more pumpkins there now because they've got more time to grow. So let's just hop up here again. Let's just see how it goes this time. Well, I think roughly the same length of time has passed there between time lapses. I don't know if you saw that last one on there, but there were quite a few melons at the same one. So let's just... quite a few melons at the same one. That's not even English. There's quite a few melons that were harvested that last time. So let's have a look. Let's see what we've got. We've got a couple of stacks in there. We've got, wow, nearly 4 stacks in there and a couple of stacks in there nearly. So that's not bad. That's not bad. Let's have a look at our pumpkin situation. 38, 21... and 3. So it's not bad, really, considering if you think about that's nearly a stack of pumpkins in about 20 minutes. So it's not fantastic. Obviously, we're going to get more bits of melon because you get more than one piece of melon for each melon that's broken. But if we turn these into actual melons, I'm guessing it's going to be roughly the same amount. So let's do that. Let's turn those into that. So yeah, there's actually less melons than there is pumpkins, and we can expect that because we made the pumpkin farm first. But that's okay. I can make a stack of pumpkin pies in 20 minutes. That's good. That's not bad at all, really. I'm happy with that. That'll do. So now I need to decorate them, and it's going to take a long time because I'm going to need a lot of pumpkins. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go AFK for a very long time while I'm going to organise all my stuff, put it all back together again, and I'm going to come back in when hopefully we'll have a lot more pumpkins, and yeah, we can get on with the game. Okay, so I've been AFK for around about 23 hours, which is a very long time. A very long time indeed. The most of it I was stood here. And I thought that would activate both of these farms and my farm in the middle, and hopefully my mob spawner as well, because at the moment I've got my, what's it called? The new thing, what's it called? Ticking simulation distance, that's it, to 4 chunks. So if I was in the middle of these 2 chunks, I was thinking 1, and this one underneath here is where my mob spawner is, so 4 chunks away from where I was stood. I thought both of those would be loaded. But, believe it or not, stood there, not even this farm was loaded. So, this farm didn't do anything. So, this morning when I woke up, it's 5 o'clock in the evening now. This morning when I woke up at around about 8 o'clock or 9, well, just before 9 o'clock, I moved from there to here. And I built myself a little AFK spot here so I could just leave the game running while I was at work all day. And I come home from work and my potatoes have done well. So let's go see what my potatoes have done first. I know you want to see what those farms have done, but I'm leaving the suspense, you see. It's all part of the plan. So we've got all of those that's in that back hopper there, plus a few in there, plus all of those as well. So that's pretty good. That's quite a lot. Now, have I got my elytra on? I have. Whee! Let's just drop off the edge down here. So mob farm, again, won't have been active. It might not have even been active when I moved. And as a result of that, we've only got 19 pieces of gunpowder in there, which isn't ever so great. I wanted more, really. And do we think I can fly back up again? Whoa, no, just get stuck in blocks. That's not ever so clever. Right, no, ow. Okay, that's not going to work. Let's go up the boring way then. So my potato farm did really, really well in the short time it was active. My mob farm, I'm not 100% sure, actually became active because it didn't do very well at all. And my melon and my pumpkin farms, I don't think I've done very well, personally. I'm very disappointed with the results, I have to say. So I've moved everything. Well, I did move everything out of the chest after I finished being AFK from the side. I put them all in the middle. That's it. So 3 of these is equal to 1 single chest. So we've not even got 1 single chest with the pumpkins. So we've got 19.5 stacks-ish there in 23 hours, which works out at about 1.2 stacks per hour. So it's not ever so good. Now, there's no difference between these ones and what was in my testing world, and I think that's slower than what was in my testing world. The only thing I can think that's different is this. So I'm going to take a load of sticks out of there again and see if that improves the rates. So yeah, I don't know why that's running slower. Maybe it's something to do with the fact that we're underground and there's no daylight or anything like that. I don't know. Maybe if I put glowstone over all of the seeds, that might help. I could try that. And this one has done not too bad as well. So that's a full double chest, plus all of those, plus all of those. And I'm thinking if we make all of these into actual melons, which I'm going to do, I reckon that's going to be roughly the same amount of melons as we got pumpkins. We've got a reasonable supply of pumpkins and melons now. There's no arguing with that. We've got quite a lot. But it's not as many as I wanted. Having said that, these farms, if I put my simulation distance up, and we'll talk more about that later, if I put that up, these farms are just going to go running for however long I have when my game's logged in. So I'm always going to be collecting melons and pumpkins. Yeah, so for whatever reason, that's like half the amount of physical pumpkins that we get, melons that we get to pumpkins. So if we look at the pumpkins, we've got, 19.5 stacks of pumpkins, and we've only got 9, 10, not even 10 and a bit in there. So it's nearly exactly half the amount, which is weird because when we did this earlier and we added them all together, there was pretty much the same amount. So that's very strange. Maybe since I moved my little AFK thing here, maybe the melons haven't been running. I don't know. So there we go. They don't look particularly amazing, and they're a little bit. Whoa, I don't want to move that. There we go. They're a little bit squished, but I ran out of melons. building that one. So I've done the entire square on the inside all the way around the back as well, out of melons and pumpkins on both sides. And with the pumpkin ones, I've also used jack-o'-lanterns as well, just to keep the whole thing nicely lit rather than having to use torches. In fact, I don't need these torches down here anymore, so I can get rid of those. So yeah, I think that looks pretty good. I've also, if we just hop upstairs, I say upstairs, jump to the top here, like this. I've done a crisscross of glowstone above those just to see if that helps in terms of the speed that they're growing at. I haven't done the full things just because I'm running out of glowstone, and I've done that on the melon farm as well. So I think they look quite funny. I think they look like sad little farms with their mouths wide open. Oh, I'm really sad. But yeah, I've not got a great deal of melon left. I've still got quite a few pumpkins, which is good. I've got quite a few of those, so we can go and make some pumpkin pie in a minute. In fact, let's grab a few of these and let's go and make some pumpkin pie in a second. And we'll take those jack-o'-lanterns out of there as well. But now my sugarcane farm looks a little bit pathetic, doesn't it? So what I'm thinking, I don't know if it's possible. In fact, let's just give it a try, is what if I was to build walls from sugarcane and then just make it go all the way up to the top? Let's just have a quick go. Let's see if we can do that. Could I put water around this edge bit here, or am I going to break anything? I've got a feeling I'm going to break something. In fact, there is already water there. So it'll all join together, which isn't it's not a massive issue. It's not a huge problem. But now I can place the sugarcane on there, and I can build that up as high as I like. So I could do complete walls of sugarcane all the way around and a little moat. But my only worry is I'm going to end up ruining my redstone and having to start again. I don't know. I don't know whether to do that on that one or not. And just like that, with the magic of editing, the sugarcane farm is done. Now, I've actually built that outside of the episode, and I'm just adding this bit into the video. So the next few segments of the video, you'll see this hasn't been done. But I thought I'd do it anyway. I thought I'd give it a go. So what I've done is I've put sand around the outside, and I've put water all the way around the outside. The problem there is I can't build in the corners. So I've done pillars in the corners, and I've just built the sugarcane all the way up, and I've made a slab roof across the top of it all. So it's... yeah, it's interesting, but obviously I can't arc the sugarcane round. So what I've done is I've done like a peak coming down from there, and I've made some lime-stained glass just to finish that off. And I think that looks really awesome. I think it fits in with the other farms now. I think that's a lot better than it was. What I have had to do, though, is I've had to cut into these stairs. As you'll see, if I walk inside here, these stairs were slightly inside of that chunk because I made them before I mapped out the chunks. So I've now got sugarcane poking through there. So I'm going to have to do something about that. I'm thinking of getting rid of these stairs altogether, because if we go up these ladders here, that actually takes us straight outside, and I reckon I could build a better elevator in the center or something like that here. I might do that outside of episode, I'm not sure. So yeah, I'm really happy with that. I think that looks great. I think I've done a good job altogether with my 3 little farms there. I think they look very cute and very nice. Anyway, back to the video where I'm just about to start making some pumpkin pies. Yum, yum, yum. Right, I've made all the pumpkin pie from the pumpkins I had on me, but I might as well grab a few more and do some more. So I've got these pumpkins left. I'm going to use absolutely all of them. Let's make as many pumpkin pies as possible, because that's why we built these farms, so I could make pumpkin pie. So I might as well make as many as I can. And then we can have a shulker box just for pumpkin pies. That would be amazing. If I had a little egg farm downstairs, that would make life a lot easier. Well, these are the last eggs out of my chest. That's nearly a double. In fact, that's more than a double chest worth of eggs to make all of those. But there we go. That's finally used all of my pumpkins. So how many have we got? How many pumpkin pies have we got? 12 3/4 stacks. That's 810 pumpkin pies altogether by my calculations, which is quite a lot. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a shulker box just for those. I need a way down, so I just sort of land here in the middle. Maybe I could do something straight up there, but I don't know where it goes. So let's make this my pumpkin pie shulker box, and let's just chuck all of those in there. And now I've got a nice big supply of pumpkin pie, and I might as well keep some sugar and some eggs in there as well. And the more pumpkins that grow, the more I'm going to have. So I'm going to be able to eat pumpkin pie for days, which is amazing. But for now, I'm going to munch on a little bit of potato, and I'm going to say, as usual, thank you all very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, do please leave a like. And if you haven't already, please do subscribe. And hopefully, I'll see you all in the next one. Bye! Thank you for watching my video. I hope you enjoyed it.
Here's another one you might like, and if you don't fancy that one, why don't you go to my channel page and see what else there is. There you can find all of my videos and playlists so you can watch a video whenever you want. And don't forget, you can also subscribe to get notified whenever I release a new video, so you never miss out on anything.